Rams found not 1, 2, 3, or 4, but 5 different starters in one draft class, and it started with the Rams' second-round pick, their left guard, Steve Avila, who joins us right now. Steve, congratulations on a first year in the NFL, a first incredibly successful year in the NFL. Take me through it. What was year one in the NFL like?
You know, it's crazy that you say year one, and I can't believe that it's actually been a year.
Right.
I think I was at the Combine right now, but a lot has happened. It's been fun. Got drafted. I remember getting a phone call from Thousand Oaks, and my first thought was like, where the hell is Thousand Oaks? LA next to it, so it had to be one
close
of the
enough.
But I don't even remember the conversation. I was just crying so much. You know, it was such a blessing. But I'm blessed to have a lot of good people around me, so it made the season go by, and you know, I'm super glad.
First, you's a big dude, man. I mean, my goodness, bro. How
Bro,
much do you
you're
weigh
up there
right
with
now?
me too, right?
I mean, you're
Height,
just a
come
big
on,
old
bro.
dude, though. My goodness.
Yeah.
Big old monster. You played every snap this year. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Every single snap this year. Did you know that when you were at the Combine, when you were in your last days of college? My next step when I get to the NFL, I'm starting day one, and I'm going to take every snap.
Oh, man. No, I mean, I'm a really humble person. I believe, you know, I mean, I was put in such a good situation. But, you know, I always told myself, even in college, man, I'm just going to work my tail off. And we'll see where things go. I mean, that's all you can do. And I was put in a situation where I had to start. You know, they drafted me to start, and you know, I came in here knowing that. So, yeah.
It's one thing to be told, hey, listen, we need you to start, and it's another thing to show up and start and then not take a single play off.
Yeah.
That's like a whole next level along the way. D'Marco and I have talked about you a number of times, you know, before games, during games, after games, and he uses a word that is a compliment. Sitting and talking to you for 5 minutes before, it's not a vibe that I'm getting from you right away. That you bring a certain level of nasty to the position. That you bring a certain level of just we're here and we're gonna get after this a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it something you just flip on when you put the helmet on?
I mean, you kind of
have.
have to. I mean, it's like fight or flight. You don't want to get picked around while you're out there.
Yeah.
You're playing with a bunch of grown men, people who've been playing the game for a long time. And it's kind of like that in college. I remember that was my first thought, you know, being 18 years old going against 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
When you get to the NFL, it's up.
Right.
So you have to do your best. And for me, I remember going in, I didn't want to be the person that they picked on and watch film and be like, oh, we're going to pick on this rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be a rookie. So that's the mindset that I had going
More of a
in there.
mental or a physical thing?
Both, really, both. And I didn't want to, you know, be picked around like
Yeah.
So, you know, if I get some chirping, I'll chirp back. You have to be as nasty as possible.
I'm shocked. I just thought you like hurting people. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, come on now. No, what an education, man. I mean, Aaron Donald, we talk a lot about him. And if you guys are in drills, like one-on-one drills, I think he likes to start on the right, which means he is right over you.
Yeah.
What was that like the first time?
Yeah, I always tell people, I have a bunch of buddies in college, and we'd always, the standard for the best defensive lineman was Aaron Donald, and we'd always ask, like, what do you think you can get him 1 out of 10 times? And in our head,
In college, you would talk about
in college,
yeah.
like, yeah, we'll get him at least 3. Like, come on. And then I was the first to call them back my first day and tell them that it would be 0.
No way. Wow.
But it was a good opportunity, man. Like, it's always a blessing going against someone of that caliber. I learned a lot from him, just the stuff that he brings to the table, and you know, I'm blessed to have a teammate like him.
Tell me, wait, real quick. Tell me what's that when you're in college and you're watching Aaron play. I guess we get used to it, watching him do like superhuman stuff. But as a guy coming up, I'm about to be in the league with him, and you see that. What's your thought? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's definitely one person. Like, that is the defensive lineman that you look at, and that's what you think of. You know, that's NFL level stuff. Man, he can just do everything. You know, I remember watching film in college with a bunch of my we and we were just like, man, we got to get ready.
Yeah. But after that, who scares you in the national?
Yeah, and that's
you
it's
deal with
definitely
that,
more
yeah.
of a, it's more of a mental thing too.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going into my first game, and I'm like, no one on this field is better than him.
right.
So there's definitely been great. I've gone against great opponents, but there's no one that's better than him. So that always helps out.
Can you pick his brain? Can you go to him and say, hey, listen, I'm struggling with whatever it might be.
Yeah.
What gives you trouble? Probably not much if you're Aaron Donald, but what makes life more difficult for you? I'd like to do more of that.
So I always get picked on because I haven't really taken the time to pick his brain.
Yeah.
You know, I respect him so much, and I know he's a teammate. You're on the same level.
Right.
I have air quotation marks right now.
Yeah.
But that is like a legend. He's the greatest of all time. But I've learned a lot from him from more of an example sense. Like, if I were to watch one of the first practices of the year and I watched the last one, I can tell that he has prepared me, you know, to play the game of football. He's given me a couple of couple advice, on like hand and all technique stuff. But yeah. So.
I asked him about his double swipe, and he wouldn't tell me. I'm like, you want me to pay you or something? But, I mean, like, good Lord. But moving forward for you, I mean, we were talking about this season going in. You guys started out 1-2. You fought your way back to 3-3, and then the wheels kind of came off to 3-7. You come out of the bye just on fire. I mean, do you call it a roller coaster? What kind of season do you call that?
Yeah. So it's funny because when that was, I don't even remember being below 500 at all. Like we always had
the first part of the year. Yeah.
We just always had the mindset of just attacking the next week. No one had their heads down. No one was like, we are a 3-7, 3-6 team. It was like, we're going to do our best to beat our next opponent. And, we just kept doing that, and it just kept on building. And we started getting more confident in what this team can do. And,
Did it help having a bunch of guys that were just getting started in the league with you? They drafted 14 guys in last year's draft. All 14 guys made the team.
For sure. Definitely with the transition part of getting here, we had 40 rookies.
Right.
So that was definitely – it's cool being with people that are going through the same things as you. And it's just so awesome, and I'm just so blessed that I'm able to see everybody develop, as I have. So we're all blessed.
Did you see Puka Bash in that celebrity basketball game?
I did. One of the first things that I think I tweeted, I was like, I didn't know he could get up like that.
Yeah.
It's funny because him and Coop always joke around in the huddle at practice, like they do, like getting the triple threat.
Yeah.
Like they have the ball. And I'm like, bro, y'all don't hoop like that. And then he goes out there and drops 16.
Man.
He could just get up and throw one down. It's that he looked like he'd done it a million times, and he looked like a basketball player. He didn't look like a guy that just is an athlete. He looked like he knew what he was doing.
I think he dunked 3 times and he caught alley-oop, which is insane. That's
wow.
crazy.
And just we're at the beginning stages of you and his career. That's amazing. Tell me about your quarterback, man. The first thing that comes to mind is toughness, and then leadership. You tell me what it's like to play with Matthew Stafford.
Oh man, it's a blessing. I know one of the first things that I told myself when I got here was like, I don't want to get him hurt. Like, and that's just such a typical lineman thing, but like it would physically hurt me to see him on the ground and it be my fault. So that's just how much respect I have for him. And I wouldn't want anyone else back there but him. Like, I know that he would be able to cook up something if we didn't get the right call from the sideline. I know that he will put the ball where it needs to be, and that's just it builds confidence for me as an offensive lineman.
Do you see stuff on film and go, holy blank, too? Like
for sure. He's thrown balls during the game, and I turn around, I'm like, dude, holy.
Right.
Yeah.
So take me through what it's like in one of those huddles. You got, obviously, D'Marco Super Bowl champion. You just finished your first year in the league. You've been doing it for a long time.
I'm talking trash.
Oh, my God, I'm barking. You got to go score. Like, here we go. We got to go do it right now. Is it rah-rah? Is it just chill? Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Here's the plays. What I need from you. Take me through the emotions of those.
Yeah, it's definitely rah-rah on the sidelines because, you got to pump yourself up to win. But I feel like in any level of sports, when it gets tough, you need to have a blank mindset.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what, he's been in so many of those situations. Again, like he's confident in what, we saw it when we played the Colts. So he's done it a lot of times. And, again, I wouldn't want anybody else.
You want to make a case for Kevin Dotson real quick? Anything?
Yeah. People ask me if I want him back, and I tell them yes. Like,
that's it?
I tell people I tell people because, like, I wouldn't be a good GM because I feel like we had the pieces to get it done last year. So, he's an awesome guy. He came straight in with the mindset of when I get in, I'm not coming out.
Yeah.
So, he's awesome.
I don't know who surprised me more. Him. He's huge. I saw him on film in Pittsburgh, so I'm not so surprised. Kiron Williams really surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be a lead back.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be a complimentary back. He was a physical little running back.
Yeah. It's hard for me to gauge what a good NFL player was going in because I didn't know. But now that I'm looking back going into camp, Kiron was making plays, Puka was making plays. All of these things were happening, and I felt like that's what it goes into the season. So it was kind of expected, from being in the inside. So I know we can build off of that.
Steve Avila, Rams left guard, joining us here from Rams Revealed at the YouTube Theater. What's it like when you find out? You knew you were going to go to the NFL. You knew you were going to get drafted. It's just a matter of where you're going to go, when you're going to get drafted. And all of a sudden you find out you're coming to Los Angeles. You're coming to a team coached by Sean McVey, who has had about as much success right out of the chute as anybody that's ever kind of come into the league, especially as such a young person. What's that like, knowing that I'm going to go play for that guy?
Oh, man, you always hear about good coaches, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Sean McVay. And I know he's a younger coach, so it can be easier to relate to him. But as soon as I got here, the way that he did things and the way he commands a room was encouraging for a rookie. He knew that we had a young team, and I felt like the way that he navigated through the season helped us develop into what we were. So he definitely made it a safe space to be better and learn. It was a learning process for all of us. I always tell people if I was anywhere else, I don't think I'd be as good as I am.
Really?
So, yeah.
High praise. I bet that playbook was different than college.
It was. But I mean, during the Senior Bowl, you kind of learn a new playbook, but it all gets bunched together. It's like, this is the same play from college that I ran.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more stuff.
See,
it's
that's
more
the
of a
light
technique
you're talking about. That's the light coming on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
this is that. Oh, bang, go play.
It's more of a technique thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest difference. I had to learn. That was what was really heavy when I got here, is just learning how to do things the way they want to. So it took me a couple weeks to do that.
What are the goals for next season? Individual goals. Obviously, team goals are team goals. What about you personally?
Oh, man, I just want to continue. I want to play every snap again. Yeah. That's one thing. But, man, I just want to be better than I was last year. That's a big thing for me. One thing that I told myself coming in is, like, I didn't want to be a bum. And I know that's, like, very
Mission
vague.
accomplished.
It's very vague. But a lot of people talk about sophomore slumps, and I don't want that. I want to put myself in the best position to help this team.
He
that's really all I
pancaked
care
Bobby
about.
Wagner, and I'm like, I bet he doesn't know who he just did. He just pancaked the Hall of Famer.
yeah.
You know, he don't know. He don't know. Just keep doing that right there. Do me a favor. Say your last name.
Avila.
Say your last name again.
Avila.
Avila.
People say Avila. It's Avila.
Avila.
Yeah.
There.
Like,
Done.
Just remember, like, avocado, that first AV in that Avila.
It's going to stick, man.
Yeah,
You
I
made
hope
the
so.
avocado from now on.
Congratulations on
Yes,
a great
sir.
rookie
Thank you so
season.
much.
It was fun to watch, and more pancakes of Bobby Wagner and guys
Yes, sir.
like him.
Sure,
moving
with
forward.
syrup.
Steve Avila.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Steve Avila, Rams left guard. It's a pleasure, Steve. Thank you so much. Rams Revealed live from the YouTube Theater. We're still going to talk with Kevin Demoff. That's coming up in a little bit. We're going to talk with Bobby Brown as well. D'Marco Farr, Travis Rodgers, 710 ESPN. Lots more to get.